James Murphy and Lee Lafenchon. Probably didn't pronounce that right, but gave it my best. All of those folks timely petitioned against this permit application, and the case kind of got started. The matter gets referred to the Division of Administrative Hearings. That's who hears this type of case. The Water Management District in Bay County responded. They are the respondents, defending the permit decision and defending the permit. The case was, I think, slow to get started. There's all these parties. Everything's got to get organized. They finally got organized, and then in October, or around about October, the Water Management District said, well, we want to amend our agency action a little bit. We're going to clarify what we're proposing, and at the same time, they decided they would move the proposed wells a little bit away from the Washington County border.
What is a little bit?
I think it's just a matter of a couple of miles. I'm glad to get you better information on that.
I'm good. I'm good. And I did hear it was 3 miles, but that's...
Yeah, no, I think it's just a handful of miles. It might be 5 miles.
And it would still, in your opinion, affect Washington County in the same manner?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so, you know, the model indicated there would still be an impact, and so they said, well, we're going to redo the model now. And they went and you know, did what hydrologists do, which is tweak a few parameters and, you know, change the location. And they came back and said, well, we think the impact is going to be much less, which in a litigation context is not surprising. Those models are, they build in a lot of assumptions. It's not easy. We still, you know, with great advances, we still don't know real well what goes on beneath the surface of the land, you know. We just don't know what's down there. And one of the things that they failed to really adequately address was the fact that these lakes are sandhill lakes, they're sinkhole lakes. And the wetlands, many of the wetlands are associated with karst activity, karst topography, meaning that the confinement between the Florida aquifer and the superficial aquifer is minimal. When we talk about confinement, we're talking about a layer of clay, typically. And when you have karst activity, you've got a limestone that's porous and full of holes and sometimes rivers and fissures, and you've got a layer of clay on top of it, and typically when you're withdrawing water from below in that limestone zone, the clay stops water from being drawn down from above. But when you have sinkhole karst activity, what's happened is the limestone has caved in and the clay has fallen down, and you have gaps in the clay liner, and so you have a much more communication between Florida and the superficial aquifer. So they've moved the withdrawals, they've remodeled, but they're still indicating that there will be impact. One of the things that the Northern Trust has done is it's hired a number of experts, including modelers, hydrology modelers, and they're looking at the model. It seems, you know, in my conversations with them, they're very confident that what's been done with the model is subject to a lot of dispute, and that it doesn't look too legitimate. It looks like we'll be able to show an administrative law judge that what they've done is not consistent with what's out there. So we do expect there'll still be some impacts. Things have gone slowly in the litigation because they did this modeling, and so much depends on the modeling. And then they didn't give the modeling report. They didn't give the whole package of input and output and interpretation information. They didn't give it to the other party, so they were kind of sitting there waiting for it. They got it in February. What they got in February doesn't look like it's really the final set of information, and they may have held back. And these are questions that we'll pursue in preparation for a hearing. The hearing is currently scheduled to begin at the end of May and go into June. There is some possibility, I think I'd probably say likelihood, that it may be postponed a But that's where we are. The scientists are on board. There were some depositions this past week, but it's just kind of low level. Folks at the Water Management District who had some involvement and want to nail down what everybody did. And the real meat and potatoes of this is the experts' testimony and those depositions. I think there are efforts right now to try to get those scheduled, but they have not taken place yet. So that's basically where we were, and